Hi, this is Kim Jackson, a student of COM 181, which is Basic Public Speaking. My informative speech, I'd like to talk to you about the history of Hall Oates, my all-time number one favorite rock group since I was 8 years old. Two men, each started at a young age by learning to sing, play instruments, and listen to various songs on the radio. They had the same taste of music, which is R&B mixed with pop, rock, and doo-wop music. Suddenly, fate brought them together. They met as college students at a record hop when the fight broke out during the Battle of the Bands. After 5 decades of hard work, they became the most successful duo in the history of popular music. The two men are Daryl Hall and John Oates. Hall and Oates are the biggest selling duo ever, who wrote songs which became big hits and blended their music of pop, rock, and Philly blue-eyed soul. According to a source from Rolling Stone magazine dated 1985, they were dubbed as the self-righteous brothers of popular music. They had sold 40 million album records worldwide throughout their career. They had 34 chart hits on the U.S. Billboard Hot 100, 7 RIAA Platinum albums, and 6 RIAA Gold albums, cited from a source of Wikipedia.org. Hall and Oates met as students at Temple University in the late 1960s. After their bands broke up, they, be, they began to form a duo by writing songs together, blending their voices, and perform musically, which took them 2 to 5 years. In 1972, they got a deal with Atlantic Records, but after 3 albums failed to chart, they were dropped from the label. In 1975, they signed a new deal with RCA Records, which included the solo album, the first album from RCA Records, including their first top 5 single, Sarah Smile. A year later, they scored their first number one hit single, Rich Girl. In the beginning of the 1980s, Hall & Oates had started to produce their own albums, including their first, Voices, which includes hits such as You Make My Dreams and their number one, Kiss on My List. The song Man-Eater from the album H2O became a gold record on January 14, 1983 by the Recording Industry Association of America, cited by RIAA.com. Throughout the 80s, Hall & Oates had 12 hits in the top 10, including 5 number one singles, won 3 American Music Awards in the pop and rock duo or group category, and toured around the world. Plus, there were other events they participated in, the recording of We Are the World. They also performed at Live Aid at Philadelphia's JFK Stadium, and they performed at the Apollo Theater with their childhood musical heroes, The Temptations. After 1985, they took a break to pursue their solo projects. 3 years later, in 1988, they released the album Ooh Yeah from the new label Arista Records. The 1990s brought the duo some significant changes in their music when they released So Close, which only went to the top 20 from their album Change of Season, which failed to reach platinum status. Fortunately, Hall & Oates released the Marigold Sky album in 1997, their first all-new studio album in 7 years, which included an adult contemporary hit, Promise Ain't Enough, cited by Wikipedia.org. The beginning of the new millennium brought Hall & Oates with a comeback album titled Do It for Love in 2002, including the title track which it went to the top of the adult contemporary charts. Although they toured together as a duo, they each released solo albums. In 2007, Daryl Hall created a show which he viewed on the internet titled Live from Daryl's House. After it became popular throughout the years, it won him 2 Webby Awards. Today I discussed how Hall Oates have become the most successful duo in popular music. On April 10, 2014, which was my 39th birthday, they were finally inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. And they had received a star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame 2 years later in 2016. Hall & Oates had each had quotes to describe the inspiration of their music. According to a source from QuoteTap.com, Daryl Hall says, "I always say the same thing. Believe in what you do, do it, and do not veer away from the truth of it." According to a source from QuoteTap.com, also, John Oates says, "In our relationship, we do not have that situation. I do not require what he needs, and he does not require what I need. I know what I do. I have an amazing life that nobody knows about." Well, that's the end of the story. Thank you for listening. Bye.